Hello everyone, this is Meriesa, and right now I'm creating a YouTube, or I would say a media template. Yeah, so welcome, and I'm kind of just want to share with you that we have a lot of awesome YouTubers and streamers in our rooms, in our game, and we really would like to have things that they can use to help them stream or add to their media channel. So that's basically what I'm working on right now. And at the moment, right now, I'm working on the YouTube version. I'll be working on a Twitch version as well. If you guys have any recommendations that you would like in this template, go ahead and put them in the feed, and I will see if I can actually make that. And I have to go back on to focus. Let me just check real quick. Alright, back on focus because apparently we can't have that. So, I'll be taking a glance at my computer every once in a while. And, more than willing to get started here. Maybe a soapbox room, yeah. Would love to do that. Alright, guys. Okay, so right now, basically, I have a little bit of a wire kind of like framed out right here. This is what I would call the video for when you go on YouTube, you click on play, and this is basically that wireframe here. And I can see a lot of people like playing with this, adding kind of like really cool shots, or like we could have like a little logo at the bottom, or even a title. And a lot of people like just playing around with this kind of like wireframe. YouTube, follow me on YouTube, subscribe to me on YouTube. I could really see that happening here. Any thoughts and ideas that you guys might have? Let me take a look. The chair challenge is just a challenge that you actually just do the challenge, and you get featured onto the Maker Pen class Instagram. We could definitely turn it into more of like a winning thing, but you don't really win anything at the moment. You're just it's just something that we're just doing just to get people to start experimenting with the Maker Pen, see how objects are put together and created, so that it can help them understand how objects are put together to create what they want to create in a rec room. So it's not like, it's a little bit easier than creating a room, because a room's a lot of work, but when you just like modify an object to do whatever you want it to do, it's a little bit, it's actually a lot easier for someone who's new with the Maker Pen to actually try out. So that's the whole idea behind that. Yeah, so right now I'm actually doing the bar of the YouTube frame here. I'm gonna go ahead and I could color it red like it originally is. The only problem with it being red is that we have this red background, and that could conflict with that color, so I might just make it black. I'm gonna go ahead and make it black. I'm gonna recolor here and then go to black, recoloring this black, and then I'm actually gonna clone this and then manipulate it down just like so, and then recolor this one white. Then go to this one. There we go. Yeah, so it looks like a kind of like a time lapse, and then we'll have like a little play button here, and then the rest of the little icons will be over here, and it'll be kind of like a cool showcase, and then we'll have follow me and subscribe kind of like messages going around, and then we can also have like some seats and some switch out backgrounds. I'm gonna take a look at my comments. Uh-oh. Thanks. Donuts! Alright, I'm gonna take a look at my comments. Yeah. Okay, so all right. I'm just gonna get started here again. Yeah, so that's a great point. We could definitely put some logos in here. The only how it might be unfortunate that those logos might not pertain to them, so not everybody's going to have a logo, but there's a lot of creators in Rec Room that do stuff like that, and I know that Soul Fox's logo is on the store, and so is Nathy's logo is also on the store, so those can be also downloaded, and they can definitely get some creators to actually build some stuff for them, especially if it's not in the YouTuber or I would say a media template, just like this one. For the MakerPen Academy, yeah, we do have that. We still need to flesh out a couple things, hence why I haven't actually advertised it too much lately. Until those things are fleshed out, I'm not going to really push it quite yet. But there is a personal class that you can join to learn more about the MakerPen, for sure. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Bird. Not Coach. Okay, so basically we do need to make a YouTuber sign. So what I have done right over here is I actually started doing that, but these letters are not quite correct. When you look at the logo, you can see that the Ooh, I can hear myself. Okay. All right. Okay, sorry. I was hearing myself and I was like really distracting. All right. Just need to find the YouTube logo, which we do have. And you can see that the logo is quite thin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my settings and I'm going to go at 5 degrees. And here's the trick. I know that a lot of people are having problems with the 5 degrees angles because they do kind of move around, and sometimes you don't know if it's like so slightly tilted just like so. But if you want to fix that if you want to fix that that problem, it is best to just, go on to 15 degrees. So that's the best way. But I'm going to go back to 5 degrees because this is going to get me the Rec Room for Nintendo Switch. One day, guys, one day. All right. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, edit again, and then I'm going to actually manipulate this down because the logo is actually quite skinny. It's not actually quite big at all. And the reason why I did this line here is to say that this is basically where my X height is, and the X height is basically on letter forms. When you're designing letter forms, you always want to place out your X height especially, and then this is where all the E's and all the letters will follow suit on the typeface, of course. So this is my X height of the letter form, and then yeah, who knew there was art to making letter forms? Yeah. Typefaces are a big deal. Okay. All right. I'm going to just check that letter form real quick. This is a little bit longer. Yeah. All right. So now the O is going to be very frustrating. Because it's thicker on one side, and then it's thicker on one side and then kind of like thinner on top. So that one's actually going to take a little more time than I actually want to put into it. So, but I'm going to place it about here. Make it thinner. Okay. Alright, and you can see that it's not actually quite meshing very well here. And then just going to make this, extend this down. Grab this. And you could possibly do this with tubes as well. So if I did it with a tube, for example, let's try it with a tube. I would go into settings. Okay, go to tube, and we want to make sure that we're at a thinner tube. So like that's pretty nice. We want to make sure we're at a block. Say we don't want to be too. Just want to 4. Nice block there. Nice one. Okay. And then we want to be at uniform shapes. So this is uniform shapes. This is going to keep my tube straight. And then we definitely want to be at connect tube. So if I did this, connect. Kind of just move my head a little bit just to make sure. Put it right here. Oops. Alright, and you can see it's kind of like weird, but what you can do is you can go to the manipulation tool here, and then you can actually get into these points and you can adjust your points here. So I'm just going to move this a little bit closer. Also, what I could do here is I can take this and actually line that up properly. Okay. Alright, I'm just getting in here quick. And you can see like it's kind of like morphing a little bit. So we definitely want to make sure that we have this straight as well. So I'm just making my grid. Go back into this and pull this out a little bit more. Okay, and that is just not looking quite right to me, but it is getting there. And that is because this is a little bit elongated, so we definitely want to make sure that this is on the proper grid, which it's not. So we'll put this back. And you can see that this is about this height away from this, and this is way too far down. That's basically how you use the tubes. Although I'm probably going to stay away from the tubes on this. Just wanted to give it a try and show you what you can actually do with the tubes. I'm going to take a look at my comments real quick. Yeah, from what I understand, that PSVR will have their will have their tokens at some point. I can't really tell you when because it just keeps changing, and it's really not my place to do so. So I am not going to tell you that, but all I can just say is soon. TM. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you soon. Soon, TM. Yeah. So, basically, so how I'm gonna actually create this effect is I'm actually gonna take these things, bring them down just a little bit. My grid. Go ahead and delete this. Yeah, typography is actually quite hard to make in Rec Room. It's not easy. So whenever you find a really good typeface, download it. Because it'll save you a lot of time. That's for sure. Yeah. And I honestly don't want to spend my whole stream just working on this typeface. And honestly, I probably could do that. But we also could you could just use a regular sign, and that should work as well. Go. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clone this. I'm gonna clone this again. So basically I'm trying to make the letter ring seem more round. I might have to go off snap just a little bit just to get that effect, and I'll do that a little bit later. And as you can see, like, we're getting that edge there, and how you fix that is if you go to settings and you go to 15 degrees, that would actually help you align things just a little bit better, just like so. I would say you only use 0.5 degrees if you're doing really detailed stuff. So it aligns correctly. We're running into the goods. If I just went back into here, just extend that out just a little bit so, and then cloned it and relate it so like this. I'm going to check the typeface. It's probably not going to be exact, but I do want it to get it pretty close, actually. And I'm going to have to make this a little bit more rounder. So it means I'm going to have this a little bit smaller here. Okay, I'm getting to exactly where I want to be, but it's not at the correct height quite yet. So I'm moving it up just a little bit so it's matching this top area grid system, and then moving this down, manipulating that down. Now that I have that correct, I'm gonna go back into here and modify that a little bit. There we go. And then now that I have this a little bit skinnier, I'm going to continue that just like a little bit, so forward. So we're getting that kind of like O look. So now it has like that flat top, almost flat top O, just so slightly. Move this up a bit. Oops, I'm on clone. Oops. So So I press wire and then move. Go. Now I want to make sure I have it as a pretty thin typeface. So like if we had this height, letter form, we definitely want to carry that forward with the O as well. Move this down. Alright. Select. You thought a house was hard. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna take a look at my comments real quick. Let's see here. No, I'm not coach, I promise. Alright. Okay. Okay. Alright, so now I'm gonna move this around. I selected all of it, and then now I'm gonna move it around. And I noticed that I have this indentation, which is fine. I can fix that a little bit later. Good. Go ahead and manipulate this shape here up. Alright. So now that I have that done, I can move these out of my way. And I can get a little bit more into detail here. So I can select all of these shapes up here. In fact, actually, I'll mesh that up pretty nicely here. And select. I'm just trying to get all the shapes in here, especially on the upper part here. And yeah. So the dots that are popping up are allowing me to, if I click on the dots here, I can actually split this object from this group. When that happens, it will no longer be in this group. It will be in a different group. I can go ahead and do that. And then now I can't edit this shape, but I can edit everything else, but I can't edit this part because it's no longer a part of this group. But if I press done and I go back into edit, I can edit these parts, but I can't edit anything else because it's a different group. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to go to, you can do unsplit shape, and it's no longer, let's go ahead, edit. Yeah, and it's back in the same group. So what I did was I split it from the group, and then I undid it. But you can also merge them back as well. So you can select different groups and then merge them. So that it's all in the same group. And that actually saves a lot of space on your room if you haven't done so already. Okay. Alright, guys, there's the O. It is kind of a difficult lettering to do. Yes, this will be published. For sure. But, let's see. Oh, I just realized that the O is way too, elongated, actually, and it needs to be, let's see. It needs to be not capitalized. Right now it's capitalized, but we need to make it not capitalized. So what we can do here, so, right now, the O is actually coming to this height instead of this height, so we just actually need to make it smaller. And we can do that easily, so we'll just go in here. And select everything, and then we're going to move it down to about here. Yeah. Alright. Then we're going to take that, move it down. Take that, move it down, just like so. Yep. And then, okay. Just want to make sure everything is properly aligned. So just getting in here and moving shapes back up to just making them proportionally. Uh-oh. Ooh, experienced a little bit of lag there, you guys. Hopefully I don't crash. If I do, I'm sorry. Alright. Just getting in here. Alright, so now I'm just actually going to go off snap and I'm going to manipulate downwards just so I can get a more refined touch there. So I'm trying to fill that gap kind of like with a smooth surface as much as possible. So there we go. And then I'm going to clone that. Try to clone it at least because it's actually quite small. Oh, there we go, we got it. And then I'm going to put it back on snap. Alright, I'll go back into manipulation because I have this piece that's hanging off here and I don't want that. Alright, we got our O. Got a little bit of a kink here. Let's see if we can fix that. Go off snap. Yeah, looks much better. Okay, so we have the Y and then we have the O. And the O is exactly where it should be, I believe. Hopefully it's not smaller. Oh, that's about right. Okay, so. And then now we have to make the U. So the best way to do this is to actually already use the height that we have with the O. So we're going to go ahead and select all of this. Select this, deselect that, clone here, and we need to be back on snap actually. We want to make sure that we are aligning ourselves up properly here. Back into select, selecting everything. Oops, didn't select everything. Undo. Now, another way of doing this is actually, let's go back into edit, and we could actually delete all of this, because this is actually going to be a real pain to copy all these shapes and stuff, so I can just make, go into done, clone this object, go into edit, and delete all these shapes here. Go ahead and select, I usually select is best to do that. Oh, I guess I didn't select it. Weird. Okay. Alright. Okay. Now that we have this shape, ooh, okay, I see. Go ahead and edit. I'm going to delete this part here. Go into done. go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this, and then I'm going to delete the top half here. Oh wait, I'm cloning. That's not good. Okay. Alright. Alright, so might be a little high still, so definitely want to bring it down just a notch. Well, maybe not a notch, but that is good. Alright, so we have our U. Technically, we still need to add we still need to make this actually a little bit thinner here to make sure that it isn't going too much into that. Although, I'm starting to think that I can see that. Okay, so basically this actually needs to be even more thinner. I would say it needs to be back into edit, clone, that thin. We want the hole to be this thin. So actually I'm going to go back into editing this, making this a little bit more thinner here. Without selecting my tool, of course. Alright. I want to make sure I get all these shapes. Alright. Don't want that. Alright, there we go. Okay. Alright. Okay, so now we just need to go back and smooth it out just a little bit. You can see that it kind of got a little bit out of hand here, which is fine. We just bring them back in. Manipulation tool is the best tool ever, and you can never put the manipulation tool down. So great. Okay. Yep, just trying to get all these little shapes in here. This is really boring. I'm gonna check my comments real quick. Alright, guys. Okay. Edit. Move this a little bit in. Alright, so we're still getting the same kind of look here. We're following the same kind of O. So this is a really good way of making like typefaces in Rec Room. If you guys haven't actually put together a typeface, this is basically how you do it in real life. Not just Rec Room, this is how you actually design typefaces. But, so if you come over here and just knock it down, I'm gonna have to go at a 0.0 degrees centimeter. Okay. Yeah, it would be nice to have, like, it's like Illustrator in VR. It's great. Who knows, maybe this is what we'll be using in the future. Alright. Okay. Let's go in here. And push that a little bit to the side there. It's popping out a little bit too much there. So yeah, got a nice U, but we are going to need a little bit of a skinny portion here for the U. And that means that we're going to have to mesh the area here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to see I'm just going to play around a little bit, see if this works. Do that. Okay. Alright. I can actually even go finer into detail, so I can actually just stop the curve like right about here and then make that curvy, because like if you look at the typeface, it's a little bit lower on the curve, so this is actually more straighter than it is in the typeface, so it's not quite right. It's not quite right, so I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. But in the meantime, see if we can do this. U is close, getting close. Go ahead and manipulate this one down. Go. I'm gonna need to mesh that up a little bit more here. There we go. Might need to make it even more skinnier. Yeah, it's gonna be more skinnier. Dang it! I just think, I look at it and I just like, it's even more skinnier every time, I feel like. It's a condensed typeface. Alright, move that a little bit more in here. There we go. And then what we're gonna do, like, it's a little messed up, right? I'm just gonna bring those back in just a little bit, so you know, no mistakes, just happy trees. We all make mistakes. Just basically just analyzing the typeface. I didn't design the typeface, so I just gotta look at it here. And then, okay, might make this, yeah, now we're losing how small this area is gonna get, because this needs to actually be smaller. So I'm just gonna manipulate that down. And okay, so we're definitely going to need to get off snap a little bit because we want to smooth this out just like so. Yeah. And then I'm putting back on snap. Actually, I might not need that. Okay. Alright, going back off snap here. Let's see. It's looking pretty good. Yeah. And if you look closely, still not quite right. It is not actually quite right. That's alright. We're getting close. So let's see if we can bring this over just a little bit so. And I am off snap, that's not good. Uh-oh, I'll just undo that. Okay. I'm probably gonna come back here and edit this a little bit later, because I don't want to like spend like hours working on a U for you guys. That would be quite boring. Say select, go select. But you get the gist of it. So like what's gonna happen here is that I'm just analyzing a typeface. It's always good to like analyze typefaces to create like signage in your rooms or create all kinds of different things So let's say I went to get off that group and go back into let's see. Ooh, flying buildings. Aha. We do have some signage in here. At least I do somewhere. Ah. Yeah. So, just like so, it's really good to like create like things like this for your room. I looked at a really nice typeface. You can find this typeface on Lost Type. And kind of like made some kind of stylized it a little bit more, and then created something for the Rec Western map. I think this is the proper one. Oops, that's not quite right. Oh, that's the holiday. Let's see. Is it the signage? Interesting. Okay, so we're just gonna delete these. Yeah, we'll just undo invention. Alright, it's not allowing me to undo the invention, which is fine. Just go ahead and delete this stuff here. Yep. So basically what I did was I just created a composition that kind of like represents the Rec Western style. And then I kind of put together a really nice, just to kind of represent my room a little bit so that people could understand what it was about before they actually entered into the room. And this is a great way to like, it's a great way to actually promote your rooms and to make signage within your rooms. So that's pretty good. Yeah. So yeah, delete all of this stuff. Okay. Unfreeze it. Delete. And then go back and delete these. Because this actually does take up a lot of space, and I can't just leave it here because it would take up a lot of space. Ah, here it is. So this is the holiday sign, and as you can see, like I kind of used these cylinder objects to create these really elongated O's. I don't want to do that with the YouTube room because I want them to be able to see right through it. But it's kind of like this kind of like really nice sign where you use like a really bulk typography, and then you go into like a smaller typeface, and it has like really nice contrast between the shapes, and it kind of really tells you exactly what this room is about. So if you guys end up doing so, going that direction, I've noticed a lot of more people actually join the room when there's some type of title screen at the beginning of your room, and then they go into a deeper story. It works really well. Alright. Do have other ones like this one. Create. Yeah, so that's another one. So I didn't actually follow the X height of these letter forms, but I kind of wanted to make it fun and unique so that it actually draws people into the room and kind of really shows what it's actually all about. So I kind of want to do this with this too, this YouTuber room where you can like dress up your titles and come in here and create like media stuff for your YouTube or stream or whatever you're doing, you know. Alright. Alright. Never mind. It's not working. Okay, so yeah. Delete. So yeah. If you guys have any questions about making titles for your room, just you can go ahead and ask them. Are you guys experiencing anything new? Have you guys actually tried out the new game state chips? And the game roll chip, which is actually really easier to use. I know it's about 20 pages, but it will be condensed a little bit later. But it is much easier to use than to hook up a whole bunch of other stuff. I want to take a look at my my comments real quick. Capture Point is a clonable room, so it might not seem like a lot of people actually play the room, but what is happening is that it's kind of like a template, so like you can copy the room and make it your own. So a lot of people have been copying the room and making their own capture point, and that's exactly what it is there for. So if you guys wanted to go and create your own capture point, you can actually clone that room, or you can go on to the templates and download or, you know, save as an invention those mechanics there. So right now I'm just adjusting little things. So like now I have the proper U shape here. And then I would just have to make the YouTuber logo, but I don't want to continue doing that. So I would make several signs here, and then I would have like a Twitch symbol and a Twitch stage, so you guys can like flip them around and flip them out. Is there anything that you guys would suggest creating media for your YouTube channels? Because I know some of you do have YouTube channels, and you guys would like a place where you could like hang out with your fans, or even create more fans. This might be a good place to do so. But if you guys have any recommendations, could you guys mention those in the comments so I can incorporate that into the template? Well, I'm actually a designer in general, so like I design large platforms for companies. But so I've helped in a lot of different types of fields, works, but all in design. So pretty good at designing. I also have a master's of fine arts in graphics and human computer interaction, so I do have a really good design background. So that's why I'm really efficient at making things. But if you need help making things, like I can really help you there. And the streams definitely has helped a lot of people in the past to create more things and give them ideas and tips on how to create in Rec Room especially. But if you guys need any like tips on your rooms, this is a great place to ask them. I am coming out with more YouTube videos, like how-tos, so we'll be seeing those more in the future. So definitely going to do one on terrain maps, because I feel like a lot of terrain maps are like lacking in Rec Room, and I think that a lot of you guys could do a really great job if you guys just have some simple tips on doing so. So I'll be putting that together probably within the next week. If you guys have any other troubles or would like how-tos on, go ahead and mention those in the comments. I am also doing some on circuits as well. So yeah, the T is definitely an easy part of this typeface. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, I'm gonna have to check that out. I haven't actually checked that out yet, but I definitely will. Yeah, I definitely will check that out. But let's go back into, yeah, and I'm gonna take your recommendation. It is a very easy thing to do, the tea. But I definitely need to get in here because it's actually looking quite messy here, and we don't really want too much mess. Just gonna delete some of this. And the spacing between the letters is called kerning. So you want to kern your typefaces really nicely. That's just more of a design background. Like if us designers see like bad kerning, we just like glare and get mad. But in Rec Room, however, it's kind of sometimes a little hard to notice those type of things. So let's put it here. But I know that a lot of people haven't gone over typefaces, so I wanted to talk about that because I have seen some people come out with typefaces and they look really, really good, and I would recommend downloading them, but I know a lot more will pop up in the store later on. But I just want to give you guys a pretty gist about how you can actually represent your rooms and to put how you can use type to actually create more engagement to your rooms. Like most people are going to notice your typeface and enter your room instead of like a picture of your room. Kind of like lets them know, engaging, just like how I did the escape room template, where you can just like, it has all these things around it. It's like showing you circuits, it's showing you everything you can do right off the bat. So pretty successful. Alright. Actually, so, and when I make the tea, I want to like use the same type of shapes. I don't want to draw out a new shape, because the problem with drawing out a new shape, you're going to lose your you could lose your shape size, and you don't really want that. You want to keep it the same shape size. And I'm at 15 degrees. We want to be at, I'm at 5 degrees, but we definitely want to be at 15 degrees when we do that. So I'm going to keep this to the top. Take a look at the typeface again. It's quite thin. Yeah, it's quite thin. So I'll do about there. Clone. Middle. Right. We're gonna make that even thinner because the spacing between these letter forms and this letter form is not quite right, so we're gonna tighten that up just so slightly, and you can see like this is getting pretty much very similar to this. This T, however, is technically at the right height, but when you take a look at the actual logo, this is actually, the T is actually a little bit higher, but I can probably adjust that later. So probably will adjust that later because it's going to require me to adjust the O a little bit more, and I can actually just go a little bit higher with the Y. Yeah, and I do need to fix this too, like the Y will need to be properly yeah. 1 centimeter. It's a problem with working off of 5 centimeters. Sometimes you don't have a lot of control of how straight it is. Yeah. And I will have to like flesh this out to make it a little bit straighter. So I could do that by doing this. So if we went here into manipulation, And then could also do this with a wedge as well. A little bit difficult in here, and you're getting like really into fine details. So basically I'll be meshing another shape with this just to make this more aligned, then square, and then properly straight this out. And then add another shape right on top of this here, just to get it really nice. No one's gonna really notice this too much, but that's another way of getting pretty good fine detail on your letter forms. All right, I'm going to take a look at my comments real quick. Okay, guys. You guys are hilarious. All right. So with the actual, I'm going to go back down to editing here because I'm not going to go back into creating the bee. It will take me forever to create the bee. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to clone this part here. So I have this fully cloned. And go ahead and snap it to place. And if you guys haven't actually tested out the creative tools, we got this new awesome shape that doesn't have a large bevel on it. You see that beautiful corner? That is just so great. You don't have to deal with a beveled corner where we would have to deal with this beforehand and like cover it up with a bunch of shapes. We no longer have to do that, so that's kind of nice. If you guys didn't realize that. So I can recolor this. Recoloring this purple. And this is going to be the Twitch layout. It's going to be a very simple layout for Twitch. And I'll make all those and all the icons and lettering as well in here. And then I might even make the full typeface. That will take me forever, but I could do it. But you can see like this Y needs to be a little bit aligned a little bit better. The O needs to be skinnier and straighter on the side, and the T needs to come in just a little bit more. But I will be spending forever to do that, and I don't want to do that on the live stream because that would take me forever. But I did actually give you guys some tips on how to actually create your own typefaces. So yeah, hopefully you guys actually end up creating your own typefaces. If you guys haven't actually tried out back here, okay, we have a guitar challenge, and you can dress up your own guitar in Rec Room and then just bring it or just post it on Twitter or Instagram under Maker Pen Challenge. And a lot of people have been making really cool stuff with this. Like they make skulls around it, they make the guitar a character or a weapon of some sort, and it just becomes this thing like you can see how things are put together and how you can modify the different shapes within the shape, so you can really understand like how people put together these type of things. An ocean room contest? I would love to make an ocean room contest. Why not? Sure. We can actually do a small challenge on an ocean type theme. I do have a go to the store here. If you go to the store inventions, and I go under my inventions. I do have a seafloor that you can use. Yeah, a seafloor, and it's like pretty large. It's like 41%, but it's a full seafloor that you can use and modify. None of it's decoration, so if you can make all things decoration to save up more space in your room. But if you guys want to try the guitar challenge, you guys can do that too. I did go over how to make awesome banners in your rooms. It's pretty it's worth doing. It takes some time, but it is actually worth doing, and it will create more engagement for your games and your hangout spaces and so forth. So that's going to be pretty neat. Is there any other questions that you guys have? Because I'm going to probably end this pretty quickly, since a lot of the elements that I have to create are going to take up a lot of time, actually. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, oh, I almost actually crashed, guys. So the thing is that this is going to be a media place. I'm not going to just have like a YouTube room here. It's going to have a Twitch room as well, like a Twitch template, a YouTube like a template area space that you can modify. You can come in here, you can delete the stages, the icons, and so forth, save up more space and create whatever you want with them. I also have like a couple of different ones, maybe like a Google one as well, maybe a Facebook as well, different media places that you can create your own media on your own channels and just post really cool epic pictures that you can actually take pictures here with your fans and so forth. So that's just how it's all getting started, and yeah, it's just getting started today. I actually started this template room today. I will be doing next week. I will be doing another YouTube promo room. I'm not gonna tell you exactly who that is for, but yep, we'll be doing another promo room next week, and I'll be streaming that live. Alright, guys, you guys have a good night, and I probably try to have this out by the end of next week before I start the promo room, and then I will be streaming the promo room, but I'm hoping to have this out by next week. It is going to take me some time to do all the little elements, but it should be fine. And I'll create some different stage backgrounds and so forth, but if you guys haven't actually tried out the new awesome corners on these bevels, you guys should, because it's pretty epic. Also, other new things in Rec Room is that we have the games rules chip. So this is a one chip that you go through. If you go to configure, you can go through all these pages to configure your own chip, and you don't actually have to touch any of these settings. You can just place this in your room and put out some spawners, and you're pretty much good to go for the most part. But you can create some other things too. But you have all these options that you can go through and use in your games. We also have the awesome, where is it? Yeah, the state chip, state machine. If you guys haven't actually use the state machine, you guys can go into using the state machine. If you go into select, you can create different states. You can also add different states from your from your palette. It's actually really easy to use, and I'll be creating a tutorial on this as well later. I did go over this in my last stream last week about these two things, so if you guys haven't done that. Also, if you guys want to save space in your rooms with chips, for those circuit masters, you can actually select a bunch of chips and create a circuit board. So everything is linked into this circuit board, and it actually saves a lot of space, and you can like label them. You can label them, modify, and you can do a lot with this. So if you guys haven't actually gone in here and really take a look at the new things that came out in Rec Room, you guys really should, because if you're a big circuit person, this is like the best thing. There are more things coming out in Rec Room all the time, but I'll try to keep you updated as much as possible. And take a look at my comments. Yeah, there are potentially 2 other YouTuber rooms that we're going to be doing. Next room I will announce next week for the promo room for that one, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. You guys have a great one, and I'll get this to you guys as ASAP, so you guys can actually utilize it. And if you guys have anything you want to add to this room, please message me on Discord. My name is Meriesa. You can find me on Rec Room in support. Also, you can find me in build support as well. I'm really easy to find, so you guys can actually just message me, and I'll add as much as I can to this room so that I can make your lives a little bit easier when you guys are putting up media and trying to interact with your fans. Yeah, they work. The game rule chip works. If you go to Capture Point, it also uses the game. It also uses that game. Game chip. The rule chip as well. So if you guys actually want to just try it out, I would just try it out and just pull it out and work with some of the settings, because you could do a lot of cool things with it, and just go ahead and mess around with it. That's basically all it is. Thank you. Get those every day. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this stream. Next week we'll be doing a promo room, and I'll try to have this out by the end of the week of next week. So, and if you guys have anything you want to add to this room, go ahead and message me on Discord. Especially, I'll get to you right away. Alright, you guys all have a good one. And want a quest template? Yep, I'm definitely going to make a quest template. You betcha.